Hello, hello. The doc is in. I'm trying to contain myself, but I'm going through it right now. But we're gonna try to get through this intro. All right. Uh, if you're a One Punch Man reader, I know you just read the most recent chapter, the translations for it at least, and I'm not even gonna cap with you. My blood is pumping. All right. This chapter was literally just the last chapter. All right, let's talk about the last chapter. All right, before we get to this chapter, let's talk about the last chapter. The last chapter was pure hype. All right, you got Flashy Flash versus Garou versus Platinum S. We got one Saitama coming back in. We got the Geno Saitama moment. We got the laser light show. We got the evil natural ocean reveal. It's huge. We got the God Slayer fist reveal. Huge stuff, big stuff. All right, we're hype. Lots of hype right there. Right there, that's a lot of good stuff. Alright. And the year comes, we hear about the next chapter being drawn. I'm like, okay, it's lit. Alright, coming out to January 14th. Alright, we're having a great time. Alright. I wake up, going through my different chapters. I read One Piece, you saw the video already. I'm reading I'm hearing about the Black Clover spoilers. I don't think there's a chapter for Tokyo Revenge. I think those spoilers already came out. I read that already, whatever. I'm checking all my different stuff. Oh, I read Fire Force today. That was pretty cool. And then I go One Punch Man. I see the chapter's already out, but it's in Japanese. So I'm like, okay, I'll come back to this later on today. Come back. Actually, no. I saw the Japanese version was out. I started to look at a couple of panels, see what's going on. First 3 panels. We got Platinum slapping on Flashy Flash. We got Garou coming in from behind with the bicycle kick. There we go. And I can't read it at the time, but I see like the different faces: Saitama, Blast, Platinum S, Garou, and you see Garou looking pretty mad. Not Garou. Flashy Flash looking pretty mad. So I'm like, even though I can't read it yet, I'm basically thinking in my head, it's like how the community thinks about Flashy, how the situation was going on with Flashy Flash with him being like a top tier, and so like it's him thinking about like the 4 people who've currently bested him in terms of his speed, and it's just like, oh, you know, I'm supposed to be top of the verse, what's going on? There can't be 4 people stronger than me, I'm supposed to be the strongest. That's what I was thinking, but obviously I can't read it, so I was like, whatever, I'll read the rest later, because obviously I want to look at it in English. So later comes along, like, what was that, 20 minutes ago? I read the chapter. Oh my god, it's so good. But we're gonna take one step at a time. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna relive it together, like we're supposed to. Chapter rating 10 out of 10. Well, we'll say 9 out of 10. But there was, dang. I was gonna say we didn't get any like God stuff, but we did. We kind of did. Okay, you know what? One step at a time. We'll decide the rating at the end. So after that first stuff, that first sequence, Flashy Flash being kind of mad, he's like, dang, people are really surpassing me. This is getting ridiculous. 4 times today. And that's his thing. He's Flashy Flash. He's supposed to be fast. So then he's like, oh, you know what? I'm coming in Flashy Fist. It's pretty cool. He's putting the hands on Platinum S. Really love to see it. Platinum S is blocking with Platinum Rings. That's interesting. I guess it's him using his like tail head thing to block. And then he puts the hands on Flashy Flash in return. We got Flashy Flash then trying to fight Garou, and it just does not go well. Basically, he's just getting whoops. So pretty much this is like his current limit. Garou and Platinum S. Well, he's relative to them, but he's definitely weaker. Like, he can't keep up to their maximum. His maximum is their like average strength. Like, this is not like their maximum output right now. Platinum S is basically looking down on Flashy Flash and basically like, oh, you know, you're a human, and how heroes are basically like once their like niche is attacked, then they get all defensive and whatnot and whatever. And so Platinum S puts Flashy Flash down, and he's out of the fight. We got him looking all caked up on the floor. I mean, if you look at the panel, he's caked up. But we also got Manaka looking trying to go talk to Flash because, you know, he is kind of like really beat up and whatnot. So then you got Garou, then fighting Platinum S, and we get the first section of absolute buffoonery, absolute Murata greatness with this sequence of fighting. The laser light show goes crazier. You got the moon in the background. You got the moon with that little eye thing going on in the background. We got the Earth, the whole little area that we're currently fighting in, looking absolutely like, how would I put it, desolate and just destroyed. This fight has gone absolutely wild. And you gotta remember, this all happens in one day. Like, all this stuff that's happened is all technically happened in one day. This is actually wild. Alright, love the laser light show, great stuff. The next page, we got Garou going crazy. Platinum S is no longer able to keep up. He's getting slapped straight to the ground, and Garou keeping up even after getting a hit off, still on his feet. Platinum S saved Garou. Alright, great drawn panel. And then Garou, being an absolute troll, let me pass through for a sec. I was like, bro, when I read that, I knew this is actually nonsensical. Just the abuse, literally Platinum S being like, yeah, I'm about to power up a little bit, anger boost, psych, dead, you're out of the game, you're done, you had your shine, you're finished, sent to the shadow room, dead. And we got the sparkles and stuff. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, great stuff. That could have been a great chapter. Then they doubled down. They went from hype to hyper hype. We got Blast, or so we think. We got Blast to basically be like, oh, you know, let's combine our power or whatever. And I'm thinking maybe Tatsumaki's like, you know, thinking back to her past. And I'm like, okay, maybe this gives more credence to like the theories that Blast is a psychic, and maybe he gave her powers. But that kind of doesn't make sense when you think about it. But in the moment, I was like, whoa, this is what's going on? Is that what happened? And so then Tatsumaki, remembering back to what Blast actually told her when she was younger, which is like, oh, don't expect people to come help you with your power, you gotta stand up for yourself, whatever. And this Blast impersonator basically be like, oh, we gotta work together. And she's like, no, Blast would never say that. He would always tell me, do it on my own. So who is you? And then we get it. The God phase. Absolutely horrifying. That right there, disgusting, but also super hype. My heart beating too hard for me to just be reading. For me to be reading, beating a little bit too hard. Then we got the visage disappearing, and then we get actual Blast. I was like, when I saw the fake Blast, I didn't get too hyped. I was like, oh, you know, she's just remembering something. But when I saw real Blast, I was like, hey, yo, it's too good. It's too good. Because I really thought he wasn't going to come back for a start. I really was under the impression he would just not come back. We would just get Platinum S taking the L to Garou, followed by Garou then having his... I believe how it went down in the webcomic is Garou beat up everybody, then it followed up with Saitama going against Garou, and then they had like their big fight or whatever, and then, you know, end of the arc, blah 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 blah. But they hit me with a treat. Well, seeing Evil Natural Ocean in the last chapter definitely kind of set up that I was like, okay, there might be some more stuff going on here. But I was like, you know what? You know, maybe they might have like Garou then slap Evil Natural Ocean, or maybe like Saitama might just be like, oh, one punch and then explodes, and maybe, you know, later on all that other stuff happens. I don't want to give too much spoilers because I know some people don't read the webcomic, and I want to spoil them on that, but definitely what's going on right now, totally not webcomic related. This is different. So we got Blast coming in through the portal. He's checking on Tatsumaki. Tatsumaki is totally knocked out. She's definitely not awake. And so he's like, oh, she resisted. He's sweating too. He was like, whoa, it would have been bad if she did not resist. Which, when you think about it, she was fighting somebody who cut off part of the planet with like a beam, and she beat her not completely solo, but more or less solo. Like, by and large beaten, like 90% effort from Tatsumaki, 10% effort from everybody else also fighting against Sairochi. So with that being said, if she would have gotten powers from God, right? Because we're saying Sairochi got a boost from God before their like huge feats. Alright. Tatsumaki getting a boost from God, it would have been over. The planet's done for. Well, not even the planet's done for. All the heroes are done for. And then maybe the planet. But anyway, getting back on topic. Blast is sweating. He's like, okay, she's grown, whatever. If you really look at his face in this panel where he said, you sure have grown, you can maybe make a connection of like maybe he thinks of her like a daughter or something. We don't know, but that's all speculation right there. So then we got King seeing Blast, and he's real shocked. And then you got Saitama basically be like, oh, there's Blast. Like, it's not the #1 hero. Gotta love Saitama. Gotta love him. So then you got Blast talking to King and the other heroes who are in there who are still conscious. And he's also talking about, like, the cubes and stuff. Honestly, it's a whole bunch of stuff that, like, obviously, if I, like, think really hard about it, I could be like extrapolating upon a number of things that probably happen later on in the manga. But right now, I'm just being hyped. So you know what? All this really smart stuff that currently we don't understand, like the character of King, I'm gonna just be like, I don't know what he's talking about, but he sounds real busy. And then basically he leaves King in charge of taking care of Tatsumaki. Another huge moment. Blast being like, oh, I gotta go head back and revive backup. I'm like, what? He's gonna go beat up Garou or something? They gotta go beat up Sage Centipede or whatever. And he's like, nah, not fight alone. I'm like, so you're telling me you just added an arc? Not just added an arc, you added new people, top of the verse. Alright. After I read the chapter, right, I decided to go look at some memes. And it's somebody talking about how power skills are gonna come in and start power scaling because Flashy Flash took an L this chapter, and somebody in the thing was like power scaling the shadows in the thing. I'm like, bro, it's funny because people do generally power scale like that, like generally so. But this picture right here, hype, pure unadulterated hype. Because I don't even feel like I need to explain it. It's just too good. It's actually crazy. But it definitely does set up like a huge new arc. I can't even extract my heart. It's being too hard for me to just be reading. So then Blast leaves again. Now, will we see Blast again? I feel like with the amount they're using Blast at the moment, we probably will be seeing a lot of him going from, probably not again for the rest of this arc for sure, but maybe like end of arc, and especially next arc, oh, we're gonna see a whole bunch of Blast. I can tell. Because they're definitely being a lot more liberal than they were with Blast in the webcomic, which I really do appreciate. Because every time they throw him in, it's just more hype. It just makes him seem so much cooler and more powerful. Anyway, so the floor starts rumbling. You see King being all shaken or whatever, and he's like Garou looking at the hole. And then we see another big moment. So when I first saw this, I was like, oh, is this Orochi? I totally thought it would be Orochi. I was like, oh, that'd be pretty cool. Orochi's coming back. He's going to do his thing. And again, the moon. The moon. That's all I have to say. The moon. And then we got Sage Centipede making his appearance. It is crazy. You got the arms instead of legs. Oh my god. He looks crazy. And then you got him basically being like, insolent tiny humans, hear me. First, also, I saw another meme where, I don't know if you guys know anything about Dark Souls, but everybody knows like that meme picture where it's like the really tiny guy and like the really big giant guy with the sword, he's like Zen or whatever. But basically any of those pictures where it's like tiny people and then really big, either monstrous or just giant creature thing in the distance, like that. That is basically what they got going on here, and it's crazy. Centipede basically literally referencing God, where it's like, oh, you know, I've been sent here to beat abdominal fist that's turned against God. Literally, Garou being like, you know what? I'm gonna beat God up with these hands. And then God's like, no, the hell you're not. And he sends two big bodies. Two, not one, two. So we got Sage Centipede coming out the earth being like, I'm here to beat you up because the earth said so. And you got Evil Natural Ocean over there representing the mother, the ocean, about to beat you up too. And Garou immediately is like, you know what, you want to run the fade? Fine. He gets clapped up. Sage Centipede immediately getting low diff. Well, okay, I'm saying low diff, but you know, I know it's probably not a low diff. Obviously not defeated already, but the blitz is very strong, alright? Garou was unfazed by Sage Centipede's appearance. He said all that, he talking all that hot stuff. You don't want it, and started smacking him up immediately, straight to the face. And then, end of the chapter, the little timer thing, I think that's just an explanation. In my brain for like a second, I was like, is this supposed to represent the speed at which he moves to hit Centipede, where he's going even lower than a 10,000th of a second? But nah, it's just a representation. But if it was less than a 10,000th of a second, I actually might have like cried. But wow, this chapter, it just, every new chapter, like, okay, I'll definitely say the second season of the One Punch Man anime, questionable. It was okay, but it didn't hit the same level as the first season, for sure. Season 1, absolutely hyped. Everybody loved it. It was like that. It was like a you want to say there's like the big three of anime. Everybody knows those ones. One Punch Man was like the one that even surpassed the big three. All right, surpassed the big three, and like it was like everybody watched One Punch Man season 1. Everybody. This right here, if animated, oh my god, the way if it was animated the way season 1 was animated, bro, it's done up. All other animes are irrelevant. It's just One Punch Man season for life. In manga form, for life. The artwork slaps. No question, no debate. There are other series, you know, they got depth or whatever, got all this stuff going on. But this right here, peak anime shonen nonsense. Not to be questioned. So, with that being said, is it a 10 out of 10? I have to give it a 10 out of 10. It's good. It's really good. Alright, I've been hyped for, how long has it been? Recording for like almost 16 minutes. Straight hype. So, yeah, I can't wait for the next chapter. I mean, I probably won't get one next week. I know they don't do week to week, but take as long as you want Murata 1. Take as long as you want, because every chapter seems to be a banger with great art. So, I mean, what do I have to complain about? What do I really have to complain about? But if you like the video, leave a like. If you dislike the video, leave a dislike. But you know what? Leave 2 likes, because One Punch Man is just that good. Alright, leave 2 likes and a comment, because you know what? One Punch Man is that stuff. It's right there, the best. Thank you for watching. The doc is out. Peace.